Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the Sunday service of Now Creations. It's a bright, sunshiny day here in Youngstown this morning, but the real sunshine is really that presence within you. I always want to remind you that the most important thing in life is the presence you have within you. There's just nothing more important than that. Please come to know it, enjoy it, love it, and share it. Just one little comment today. If you're able to join us tonight, happy to have you for What is Light Body from 7 to 8:30. My dear friends, I want to talk to you this morning. This morning's talk is about you. You knew it would come down to this. Let me say it again. You knew it would come down to this. It's time. Because you have so many spiritual friends to support you in practicing your divinity, you know that sixfold list. Your soul, your very best friend that you can always count on, your spiritual friends in Now Creations and in other groups, your transitioned loved ones, the avatars, the elders, and of course, the friend, the God Spirit that is within you. Because you have all of these friends, you knew it would boil down to this, that it was time for you to be a mutually supportive friend, time for you to support all of the others who need your spiritual support so that they too might practice their divinity, and not only to support others, but especially to support those people that only you can reach, the people who are very important to you, who know that presence coming from you. Thus, the title of today's teaching is, It's Time. It's time for you to respond to the supportive spiritual friends that you have had in your life, and in turn, that you might be a light not only to them, but to others as well, who need your inspiration. I will begin today with simply an acknowledgement and then an acronym. An acknowledgement and then an acronym that describes our sense of spiritually working together, and then proceed to describe two specific characteristics of your spiritual friendship with others. People need you to befriend them. So let's begin first of all with the acknowledgement and the acronym. The simple acknowledgement is that we are spiritual teammates. We are spiritual teammates that have spiritual friends, like our transition loved ones, like our soul friends, like the avatars, like the elders. We are spiritual teammates. Would you just take a moment and just absorb that? We are spiritual teammates. We are spiritual teammates. We understand that we need each other, but even more so, we understand that we are moving beyond spiritual individualism. We've labored under being spiritual individualists for quite some time. This is a big understanding for us, coming to the realization that we are participants in a much larger plan of the God Spirit, far beyond what we had initially conceived in simply our own personal spiritual growth. We have taken the time to foster spiritual relationships that have nourished us and we in turn are nourishing others. We understand now that not only are we teammates, that we are willing teammates. We desire, we want to support others with whom we share the God Spirit. We understand the importance of being supported as well as being supportive. This sense of mutual support gives us that beautiful acronym concerning our teammates. The acronym is one that many of you know, TEAM, team. TEAM, together, each achieves more. Together, each achieves more. In the past, you might have heard this acronym, but never quite really experienced it. Now you know. Now you know not just the words, but now you're beginning to experience that beautiful presence within you that is the realization that we are spiritual teammates. This togetherness, held together by the glue of the Holy Spirit, enables us to understand what it means to be spiritual teammates. We have a common spiritual center. The glue that holds all of us together is the Holy Spirit. Each one of us has the Holy Spirit at our center. And as we encourage each other to live accordingly, we also realize that we're encouraging ourselves. Together, each achieves more. Again, this is new for many of us. To act now, not simply from knowing that we have spiritual friends, but to really act from a common spiritual center, to consciously share this center with others. It's time. It's time to do so. It's time to achieve more together. Let me talk about this to you. It takes a commitment certainly to each other, but also an understanding of the commitment to the God Spirit within you. It's time to be committed. It's time to put up, or you know the rest of the phrase. It's simply time. So with this understanding, these introductory remarks, I would now like to turn to the two most important characteristics of our going forward together. The first characteristic, as you would probably surmise, your going forward together with others depends on your willingness. Depends on your willingness to really make spiritual progress. Again, you knew that it would come down to this. It's up to you. It's up to you to move forward. In doing so, might I suggest that your first step in moving forward is the unwavering confidence that you have been created for well-being. This unwavering concept that we have been created for well-being must have a depth to it. And that depth comes from our two best friends. The first one is the best friend, and that is the clear understanding that you have been created by a loving God for well-being. You must first assimilate this into yourself, that you're a beloved child of the divine, created for well-being. Now, two things come into play. First, you must not only understand this truth, that you must also respond to the truth. God did not create you a robot. You must freely respond to the beautiful energy that is at the very center of your soul. And then secondly, have you come to this conclusion yet? Have you come to this conclusion that you are created for well-being? Is this the basic conclusion you have come to in your life now? I am created for well-being, and I can respond by utilizing all of the gifts that our Creator has bestowed upon us, within us. We are not robots. We must freely respond to the gifts of our Creator. That's the best friend. Our second best friend that supports us is our soul. It is your loving soul that has extended God's blessing of creating you for well-being. You can count on your soul to empower you. You can count on your soul to strengthen you and to guide you. You can count on your soul to give you everything that is necessary for you to be a beautiful expression of your soul and of the God Spirit. Now, with these two incredible friends, the creating energy itself in your soul, your best friends, do you understand that you are created for well-being? You're created for well-being. You have the absolute best energies of the universe to support you, that you must respond. Now, here's the point. In responding, you have learned to move beyond your limited personality self. Let me repeat this. As you respond to well-being, you have moved beyond simply responding from your limited personality self. It's your limited personality self that makes it easy for you to stop going forward. It's your limited personality self that says, it's too much, or maybe later. Life is so overwhelming. It's time to stop. It's time to stop listening to your limited personality self. It's time to stop your primary consultant simply being your limited personality self. You knew it would come down to this. You need to respond to the God Spirit and to your soul from your soul spirit self. This is the real you. This is your soul spirit that really gives you the guidance, the power, and the strength you need. May your soul spirit become your primary consultant. Stop going to your limited personality self. Consult with your unlimited soul spirit, moving you into be that unwavering, beautiful creation that you have always been meant to be. Let me give you this wonderful analogy. Please listen carefully. Your lungs long for air. Your lungs did not create the air. They long for air. In the same way, your soul longs for the Holy Spirit. Your soul did not create the Holy Spirit. Rather, your soul longs for the Holy Spirit. Is this not now becoming clear to you? Your soul is formed and built by the God Spirit. Just as your lungs long for air, your soul longs for the God Spirit. As you more and more deeply understand this truth, that your soul is formed and built for the God Spirit, the more that you will understand that you have been created for well-being. The more you understand that both your soul, through the guidance of the Holy Spirit, as well as your personality self, when guided by the soul, are created for well-being. We are now ready for the second characteristic that it's time for. The second characteristic is somewhat new for many of us. It concerns being devoted to the God Spirit and devoted to your spiritual growth. Let me explain. For the majority of our lives, and still for the majority of people, spirituality, which was often called religion at the time, was something that you did on the weekends, and most of you did it quite well. During the week, however, your attention was pretty much directed to your daily responsibilities, from work to relationships, taking care of the home. And for many years, this system worked for you until it didn't. You knew that something was missing, but you couldn't quite put your finger on it until you did. You came to realize that something was missing inside of you. And this internal gap began to be bigger and bigger. So you started to practice your spirituality a little more and then a little more. You clearly realized that going to church once a week was not filling this gap. You realized that you wanted more and you needed more than the same old stuff. But even you were surprised at what happened next. As you continued your spiritual growth, even you were surprised at how all-encompassing this spiritual growth was becoming. You realized that your spiritual growth had now become your path. This was quite new for you. You probably never ever thought that you were on a spiritual path. And then it happened. Again, quite a surprise to you. You became committed. You became devoted to your spiritual growth. It had become the number one priority in your life. It was what you most look forward to do each day. It's the way that you began to live your life. It made you feel better, made you look better. It made everything better. It simply delivered the power that it promised. You had become a spiritual devotee. Now, come on, hasn't that been surprising to you? That you are devoted to the path of the Holy Spirit. Is this not what is occurring right now in your life? You have become devoted to the God Spirit. And you loved. You absolutely loved being with your spiritual teammates, especially the ones here on Sunday morning and in our classes. This second characteristic of spiritual devotion led you to two additional things. The first one that led you to is what I call the fact. The fact. The fact is that you know. The fact is that you now know who you are. The veil has been lifted. The fact is that you realize that you have moved beyond the limitations of your little old personality self. And the fact is that you now have shifted to the God Spirit at the center of your being. The fact is that you are a seer who has seen clearly. Is this not true? This is not an illusion. This is not a veil anymore. You see clearly. The fact is that you have had a firsthand experience of the fact of your identity. You have become the experiencer. You have become the experiencer of your direct connection to the God Spirit. Are these not the facts? You've worked hard to achieve them, and they are the facts of your spiritual life. And then you begin to realize the second thing. It did startle you at first, that it was undeniable. This is it. You realized that your experiences of your direct devotion to the God Spirit was the first step in helping others to experience it. I'm going to say it again. I want you to digest it. You began to realize that your experience of the God Spirit was the first step to help others experience it. One more time. You began to realize that your experience of the God Spirit was the first step, the help to assist others to experience it. Initially, of course, you wanted to share your spiritual growth with your family and friends. And may I say, you have done so beautifully. So many of the people around you, they have noticed the difference in you, that you really are much better, kinder, nicer. And now though, you are happy to tell them what the difference has been. This difference has not just been diet and exercise, but rather the difference that you now want to tell them. The difference is you have changed your spiritual core. You have changed your spiritual core. But as soon as you said this, I have changed my spiritual core, two more things occurred. Is it not amazing how you are evolving? The first thing that occurred were the words of Jesus in Matthew 23, verse 11, when he said, "The greatest among you is the one who serves the needs of others." You've heard that many times. The greatest among you is the one who serves the needs of others. Is this not precisely what you are doing? Because of what you have come to know spiritually, are you not serving the spiritual needs of your family and friends? Have you not been willing to ask yourself this question. Am I not becoming a modern day Christ? Come on now. Am I not becoming a modern day Christ? Am I not becoming a spiritual light in the world? Do you not see what is happening? You are spiritually befriending your family and friends. You are spiritually befriending your family and friends. The team is getting bigger because you took the first step. You are now able to befriend others. That's the truth. And then the second thing dawned on you. As you began to spiritually befriend your family and friends, finally, the following teaching made sense to you. That teaching is oneness, that we are all teammates. But this notion of oneness has taken a rather long time in coming. It is one thing to spiritually befriend your family and friends, but it's quite another. It's quite another to extend your spiritual friendship to encompass all others. This was not easy, and it's still not easy for some of you, until two more things became known to you. Two more remarkable things that you are now coming to know concerning yourself and beginning to realize how your spirituality is really changing you at your core. It's almost as though you were spiritually pretending until these two further aspects of self-knowledge began to reveal themselves to you. Here's the first one. The first realization was that you had to change your sense of self before you could embrace all others in oneness. You had to change your sense of self before you could embrace others. You tried to embrace others without changing your sense of self. How many times have you tried that and found it not working? As long as you remained in your limited personality self, your sense of family and friends, well, were quite limited. Literally, all you could really maybe help were your family and friends. It was not too hard to befriend them, but oftentimes even that was challenging because you had not changed yet. But to embrace a oneness with everyone demanded more. It meant a change that had to occur in you at your core. And it has. Because you now understand that you are a beloved child of God. You now understand that everyone else is a beloved child. You stopped being a critic. You stopped being a self-righteous judge. You had to change first. And this is precisely the message that we need to bring to the world. We have to change first. We have to realize that all of us are part of the family. This is quite challenging at times. This is quite challenging. But now, because you have changed your spiritual core, now, because you have become a seer, now, because you have become that modern day Christ, this is feasible. It's feasible. You are befriending all others, no exceptions. You knew it would come down to this. It's time. If you have not done so as yet, know what awaits you with greater satisfaction. Okay, we're now ready for that second realization of knowing yourself. Here it is. As we are now assisting others to grow, you are spiritually befriending others. And you are now, in a sense, as you befriend others, listen closely, you are now confirming your own truth. Let me explain. As you take the time to be the light in your world, and notice I said, as you take the time to be the light in your world, are you not beginning to more and more be confident in your own truth? As you take more time to understand who you are you not then feeling more comfortable and confident in extending this truth to others? You clearly realize that the truth that you're espousing, namely your direct connection to the God Spirit, does illuminate the lives of others, just as it has illumined your life. It's one thing to know this truth for yourself, but it's quite another to witness this truth making a difference in the lives of others. Listen closely. As you befriend more and more others, as you befriend more and more others, do you not experience the power of the truth of the God Spirit within you more deeply? As you befriend more and more others, don't you experience that truth more deeply? This inner knowing is becoming full circle for you. As you see it becoming so, as you are more and more helpful to others, it refreshes the truth within you so that, and again, please listen now with both ears and especially with their heart. As you experience this truth in the lives of others and feel it being reconfirmed within yourself, do you not understand that you are now becoming more devoted to it? As you befriend others and see a response in their life, which is beginning to match your own, do you not see now that you have become devoted to the gospel? I'm going to say it one more time. As you befriend others, family, friends, anyone, and you begin to see a spark in their lives that has been sparked by you, do you not understand how that spark demands and has been experienced as a sense of devotion within you. You become devoted to the gospel. Your devotion to the truth of the life of the God Spirit within you, your devotion to the God Spirit at the very core of your being, your devotion to the God Spirit with all of your spiritual teammates, this is the gift of life. This is the pearl of great price that Jesus talked about. It's always what you wanted. It's always what you had hoped for. And now, it's right here for us, right here for us. Did you not know that it would eventually come down to this? And it's time. It's time to be devoted and see the incredible impact and effects of such devotion on yourself and on all others. It's time. In conclusion, some of you might have sensed that I have more to say on this issue, and I do next week. But for now, ponder well that it's time. It's time for you to befriend the world and all of its people. We are moving forward together with so much more on our horizon. We're teammates. Let me now take you into meditation, and certainly what a joy it is to do so. But I'm going to make a couple of introductory comments first. In the meditation I'm going to share with you, and I'm so happy that so many of you enjoyed last week's meditation so very, very much. We're going to have longer periods of duration in this meditation. And then I'm going to conclude with a new mantra for you. So let's begin. Nice, easy breathing, breathing in, breathing out, and just allowing the breath to settle you, to calm you. Please begin. Now, do not let your mind wander. We're going to spend a little extra time. Stay centered. It's time. It's time to be devoted. It's time. You have dilly-dallied long enough. It's time. It's time. It's time to become a devotee of the God Spirit. It's time. I want to teach you a new mantra this morning. And I'll encourage you to say it according to the rhythm of your breath. On the in-breath and out-breath. Then again, on the in-breath and out-breath. This is the mantra. On the in-breath, my spirit, the Holy Spirit. On the out-breath is my spirit. On the in-breath, my spirit is the Holy Spirit. Say it again. On the in-breath, the Holy Spirit is my spirit. On the in-breath, my spirit is the Holy Spirit. Just using your natural breathing rhythm. We'll say it twice together, and then I'll just let you repeat it according to your breathing rhythm. Here we go. The Holy Spirit is my spirit. My spirit is the Holy Spirit. The Holy Spirit is my spirit. My spirit is the Holy Spirit. Just notice how that feels right. And just repeat it many times during the course of the day. And just know how right it feels. And just gives you that smile within your heart, that sense of well-being. The Holy Spirit is my spirit. My spirit is the Holy Spirit. In that wonderful energy, let me invite you back to your breath again. Nice, easy breathing. And gently just breathing your eyes open. You are wonderful to the core of your being. Wonderful. I am an eternal being of light and love. Thus, only good can come to me, and only good can come from me. And we are eternal beings of light and love. Thus, only good can come to us, and only good can come from us. Namaste.